All right. For those of you who joined me about 5 minutes ago, we're going to try that again. Look, wife called and I knew she called for a reason. So I said to myself, I said, you know what? Let me make sure I catch this and make sure I didn't interrupt any of the vibes going on for today. How y'all doing today? Great to see y'all. This is the condensed version of Fridays here in Atlanta Bird Gang, a little Friday preview of what's going on. And as I was saying before my beautiful spouse called, who we are coming up on 21 years. So, so if you've been together 21 years and your wife calls, make sure you answer it. So even if you're online, just to make sure that everything's okay, and it is. But geez, think about this, folks. What a wonderful weekend of sports we have. And, considering that about a year or two ago, when the teams were, kind of in a different place, Georgia Bulldogs were in a certain place, and the Falcons, of course, were still doing what they do. The year after Atlanta United won, just things like that. And I just say to myself, look where we are on the last week of October in 2021. We have, of course, and it has to top everything, the Atlanta Braves going for the chip here in Atlanta. I know a lot of us are disappointed over the Game 2 loss, but you went on the road. That's what you were supposed to do, get the win. And hopefully, if all best plans are laid out, you sweep the Astros this week. That's your goal. Your goal is to sweep the Astros, and hopefully they can go do it. The Georgia Bulldogs. Normally on a weekend like this, Georgia, Florida would take precedent over everything. That's usually no matter what's going on. Coming into the weekend, Georgia Bulldogs going against the Florida Gators, which now, the way Georgia has been playing at least, seems to kind of be a moot point, because I just don't think – I think we may have played the best team in the SEC East against Kentucky. So I don't know. That's what I think. So we'll see. Then we got the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks off to a good start. Hey, Rusty, what's going on? Say, Steve, I have a question for you, my friend. As you probably know, I bought tickets to the Patriots game on November 18th. My question is in regard to parking. How close do you think I will be able to park to the stadium? The girlfriend has ankle surgery last year, and she was worried about having to walk a mile. If I were you, Rusty, and get in touch with me closer towards the end, I would catch the most eastbound, which I think is either Indian Creek or Kensington. I know Indian Creek, I think, is a little deeper, but one of those two stations, especially if she's hurt, that way you can be on the train all the way in. Now, I don't know where you're staying when you get here. I would probably do it that way. So it would be easier. You already have your seat, even if it's getting a little crowded. And that particular train takes you straight to the stadium. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. That's what I would do, at least. What's going on, Jonathan? How you doing? Jonathan, I was just talking about, and I know you can appreciate this as someone who's kept up with Atlanta sports, how big this weekend is. Of course, superseding everything is the Atlanta Braves, as we try our best to run through this Astro team who has seemed to give us problems the last game. But we're set up to win a championship. Obviously, that goes over anything we're doing right now. We have the Atlanta Falcons coming off of 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 wins. I don't care who we beat. Honestly, it's a win, which is a lot more than we can say for the last 4 years this time of year. As I know people have brought up several times, when is the last time Atlanta has not only been 500, but had 3 wins before November? It's been quite a while. So a narrative that we want to, improve and keep going. So you think about that. Think about the Atlanta United, a champion a couple of years ago, trying to make that move again to, get higher up on the table so they can secure at least a top 4 spot in the MLS and do great things like they did a couple of years ago. The Atlanta Hawks, 3-2, going, beginning of the season. The Cleveland loss, the Washington loss, even though Washington looks really good. Things where you just say, okay, that's a team on the up. The way John Collins jumping out of the gym and Trey still doing Trey things. It's the beginning of the year. I'm not trying to go 20-0 this year. Get the field the team out. By the time playoff time comes next year, just like last year, you'll be cohesive and work your way in and do what you need to do. I think I mentioned Georgia and Florida, which normally would be the marquee game of the weekend, the old cocktail party, as most people used to call it, and not these days, of course, but still the cocktail party to me. And now with Georgia dominating teams like they have, that's become kind of a back story on the back burner. Just a huge weekend. So I have to ask, which local team right now has you hyped the most for this weekend? And right now, you gotta say the Braves. I am a huge Falcon fan first and foremost, but I am a huge local guy. So if my Hawks are doing well, my Braves are doing well, if the Bulldogs are doing well, shoot, if Tech is doing well, if the United are doing well, everybody can eat in this city. I just want everybody to eat. And that's where I'm going. Let's keep the good vibes going. We haven't had, that little Losersville tag that people put on us, the little lazy thing that the national media are always talking about. Oh, the Falcons and these Braves. Forget that. This is the weekend that you want to do what you need to do, especially the Braves. The Braves, folks, I'm sorry. I have my Falcons, got my Debo jersey on for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. I'm super hyped to go to the stadium. We got to get that first home win this year. And I know London counts as home, but whatever. I want to get the first win that we can get in Atlanta. It would be nice to get that good vibe around 4:15 leaving the bins. We haven't had that feeling in quite a while. I think that would be really good if we can do that. What's going on? What's going on, Cam? How you doing, brother? Good to see you down there. Macario, I see you, man. Said, what's up, brother? This is the start of a beautiful weekend. Braves, Hawks, Dogs, and of course my Falcons. I see 4 dubs. Bro, if we can get 4 dubs, I would be ecstatic. To get this area deserves that type of, hype, that type of love down here. We just need to have it, man. We gotta have it. Jonathan says, huge weekend. Yes, sir. Absolutely. It is. Absolutely. What's going on, brother? Said besides a few games, Tampa got the same schedule as us, but they don't slam Tom Brady. Tom Brady's got 7 chips, man. We can't compare ourselves to him. No need to even try to compare anything with Tom Brady. No player can compare their situation to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. It is what it is. Jonathan says, every week in the NFL is tough, no matter who you play. That's why I say I don't care that we beat both New York teams when they're down. I don't care that we beat a Miami team who actually put up a good fight. It's not like Miami's getting slogged around everywhere. Miami, they have some decent pieces. They just got to get it together. And I'm not too sure if I would give up on Tua as well either if I'm Miami. I know he made some bad mistakes, but he's all right. Isaiah, what's going on, sir? Said Packers lost their tight end for the season. Might be a desperate trade partner to ship off Hurts for a second and third round. Nobody's giving a second round pick for Hayden Hurts. I know. Listen, I know Hayden Hurst definitely will be trade bait. I can see that. Yes. I don't see anybody giving a second round pick for Hayden Hurst. Now, if they do, good for the Falcons. I would like to keep Hayden Hurst in the mix, if you ask me, because the more weapons we have, just like last week, we were able to spread it around. Yeah, Kyle was the man last week. I want an offense that could spread it around. I don't want there to be just the one focal person. You got Pitts, you got Ridley, you got Gage, you got Hurst, you got Lee Smith, third tight end in there catching passes. You got Cordell coming out of the backfield. I love having more weapons. That's just me. But I would understand. Now, somebody offered the third round for Hayden Hurst, knowing that he's going to be a free agent this year. Yeah, you have to think about it. That's for sure. But I would love to keep his hands in the game. Corliss, what's going on, man? He said, what's going on, Steve? Hella weekend coming up. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Isaiah says Braves, Dogs, then Falcons. Yes, sir. Corliss says, I think we can rattle Darnell early. I hope so. They have some offensive linemen that are going to be out for this game, the Panthers. If there's going to be an opportunity for our defensive team, yes, we don't have Fowler, but let's keep it real. It's not like Fowler was lighting up the whole thing right before. He did a couple of good things, but he's not playing all world. So I will take let these other guys get their thing. Let the little rookie get some more playing time and get in there and get some of those quarterbacks. We need that. We absolutely need that. Cam says Matt Ryan is looking good, but I still want a quarterback. But got to give credit where credit is due. Hopefully the offense can really start to hit on its high points. Cam, there is zero wrong with what you're saying. There are people that's gonna, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Joe? Joseph says, don't forget about Georgia Tech. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Georgia Tech. I guess they have 3 wins. They're 3-4 too. So yeah, we'll put Georgia Tech in the mix too. Georgia Tech. We do want Georgia Tech to win. So I don't want to act like that's not the case. Joseph says, did Fowler fall off after he got his contract? Well, compared to last year he really didn't do anything. I mean, so I know he was hurt a little bit last year, but for the money that we invested in him, you got to look for more out of him. You got to look for more out of what Fowler's, what he's given us so far, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think you need a little bit more for the money, a little bit more for the money. Going back to what Cam was saying about Matt Ryan, no apologies, man. Listen. Matt is doing what he's supposed to do. I think the concern is Matt going to be able to step his game up and the team can follow his lead? The first 2 games, you were thinking, I don't know. But these last 3 games, look, Ryan has done well. The play calling from Arthur Smith, I got to give him credit. He's finding creative ways to get Matt out of the pocket, to get the ball out real quick. The first week or so, we were complaining about Matt dinking and dunking, and now you see we're going down the field attacking. And that's the kind of thing, at least we started so bad. At least I've seen growth from week to week. Do we want to have a couple of plays back with Washington? Of course we do. But from where we were on week 1, from where I was leaving that stadium after that Philadelphia game to where we were with Youngway kicking that game-winning field goal, I love where we're going as far as that's concerned. What's going on, man? What's going on, Martavius? How you doing? Say, I think we'll get this win. Darnell will be seeing ghosts. Here's the problem I have there, and great to see you, my brother. Here's the problem I say when we start talking about the abilities of any quarterback. When I start thinking about Jalen Hurts, when I start thinking about Tyler Heineke, when I start thinking, I don't even want to talk about Tom Brady. When I start thinking about Wilson, when I start thinking about Tua, what's the one thing those guys have in common? All of those quarterbacks, and Daniel Jones too, all of those quarterbacks had their best games against our defense. So we can talk about the diminishing traits of some of the quarterbacks out there, but our defense is making them look great. Then that's what scares me. Tua threw 4 touchdowns last week. And they weren't Tom Brady-ish where you were throwing a little 2-yard, like last week he threw 4 touchdowns like they were all within 10 yards. But we make quarterbacks look good. And that has to do in correlation when we were talking about the pass rush. We got to get some type of pass rush on these quarterbacks. Now, Panthers come into the game with a couple of offensive linemen beat up. They come into the game without McCaffrey. We have to take advantage of those situations. This is a team we should be able to beat. We should. But I just want us to make sure we can, take care of it, man. We got to take care of it. Sanuki says, it seems like Matt and Coach Smith are trusting each other a lot more. Well, after 6 games and after winning, you should. You better. I mean, you should start having more. I'm sorry, that was Corliss. My fault, Corliss. That was Corliss. How you doing, brother? Yeah, we should. Look, Matt has been looking really good. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Do I still want some more athleticism at my most important position? Yes. Matt has been doing the job. I'm not going to complain. When we're winning, the complain meter should go down. If we're losing, then I'll start, tapping on that door a little bit. That doesn't change my narrative, folks. I'm still in the thought that we still need, still need another quarterback eventually. But right now, 3 out of 4 wins, I'll take it. Ron, what's going on, Ron? Ron says, do you think the Atlanta Falcons need to trade for a DN? Not really. I mean, we need some defensive end help, but look, those guys got to be coached up. We have some young guys in this defensive line. We have a young team. One of the reasons why we allegedly got Dean Pease was so he could help these guys grow and make us into a cohesive defensive line and get some pressure on the quarterback. Has it happened over the first 6 weeks? We've had moments. I don't think it's as consistent. When I go and look at other teams and I see what they do, shoot, Dallas basically drafted all defense on their team, and it's coming up roses for them right now. They're still making some mistakes. Trayvon Diggs is really making their defense look better than they really are. They're good, but he's getting some, he's in ball hawk mode, so he's in a different place. But they still got some spots inside the middle. If you can get to that linebacker spot, if you can get Kyle Pitts in the middle of that Dallas linebacking core, I don't think they're as great as advertised. I do like their defensive line. I do like the pressure that they can put up there. But, for the most part, I think we still need some help. Damon, what's going on, brother? Said we need a defensive end like my garden league Sunday war. We need a defensive end, but here's the thing. When he was talking about trading for a defensive end, right now, all you're going to get, just like we did in free agency, are rental players. Are we in a position? Look, we need as much offensive help to outscore our opponents because we got to make up for the defense we have, in my opinion. I don't think we can go into the rest of the season thinking that we're going to hold teams to 10 points and 17 points. I think for the Falcons, your goal, almost like Miami, you got to score 30 points or more to compete in these games. The Giants game was an aberration because the Giants are kind of rough too. The Jets, we should have put up many more points than we did, which is why that game got tighter than it should have. We've got to, I don't like the idea of trading Hurst unless you get third round or above, but I'm just not sure that's the value right now. Unless you're a team, to your point earlier, when you were saying that Green Bay lost the tight end that they need, and maybe the Falcons will be willing to bite. But I think if we're 1-5, I think about that. You're 3-3 and on the uptick with the division games coming up. Let's see what happens after Carolina. If we're 4-3, I'm not sure if I'm trading Hurst. But we do need some defensive ends, Damon, no doubt. My brother Jeremy Cox, how you doing, sir? Said, like any other team, if the line can keep the quarterback clean, it's a huge boost for any offense. It's going to get tougher as we play better teams, but luckily we faced two of the best defensive fronts in the last 2 weeks. You're correct on that. Just hope our line keeps improving and allows us to run between the tackles. We need more than 35 yards rushing per game from our running backs. Jeremy, and I'm starting to wonder. I know we're running the ball for the sake of running it, because if you don't show any kind of propensity to run the ball, then they're going to send the house every time. So you have a good point. You can't live off of 35 yards a game. Mike Davis has had moments. He has, but I need just a little bit more. I'm not one of those folks that came in here thinking Mike Davis was going to get 1,500 yards in this offense. No, Mike Davis was a free agent for a reason. Mike Davis came on here on a low contract for a reason. He's going to be okay, but I just need that extra. What scares me about the Cordero Patterson thing is Cordero is a weapon. And I'm not sure if I want him holding that. I'm not sure if I need him in there running the ball for 20 times a game. That's where Davis comes in to get the big yards. I need Cordero to be that Swiss Army knife. I want him to be a poor man's Camara. That's what I need. So we absolutely need Mike Davis to do his thing. Damon says Davis is the guy that needs to be replaced. Look, if you could at this moment, you would. I think the problem is right now it's going to be hard. I know we got journeyman running backs running around there. I know Devontae has flipped around and now he's with the Ravens. Shoot, Mark Ingram just ended up going back to the Saints. We'll see him in a couple of weeks, just like we used to back with them. So that'll be interesting. Damon also says we need a running back. Yep, a real running back. True. Shy Boogie, what's going on? Said we need to trade him anyway because we don't have enough money to pay him. If you're talking about Hayden Hurst, I'm not worried about re-signing Hayden Hurst. That's not my problem. Right now, you have a pass-catching tight end. Hayden Hurst is basically auditioning for the NFL right now. He take advantage of the fact that he needs to raise up his game and show other NFL teams he can need him. I understand if we can squeeze the third round pick and maybe even a fourth round, maybe. But if you don't have to trade him, why? He's out there trying to ball. It's not like he's out there sucking except for those fumbles against the Jets. I mean, we don't want to just trade the trade. And then we trade him and get a third round pick that's ineffective. And then 2 years from now, everybody will be saying, why did we pick him? That's not I don't know. In my opinion, that's not cool. Um, I'm gonna read this because y'all going by so fast. Macario says, "Is Mike Davis hurt last game? Looked like he was limping. He was making videos this week, so he didn't look like he was hurt." Damon says, "Patterson way too valuable to have him coming off out the backfield 20, 30 pounds a game." You probably heard it. You mirrored exactly what I said. I didn't even see your comment. Give Gallman more time. That actually might be a good idea because Gallman, the game they let him come in against, was that the Jets or the Giants? One of the games he came in against Washington, and he looked pretty good. Say, I'm not trying to jump too far into the future, but if Jordan Davis was there, will you take him? Yeah, I don't want to jump that far either because Jordan Davis, I want Jordan Davis to ball out against Florida. I think, listen, he's going to be a nice talent, but I can't. Dude, we don't even know what our record's going to be this year. So everybody's telling, put Jordan Davis in the Falcon uniform. We might have a winning record. We might be drafted in the 20s. And he may be gone, even though I did see a mock that said he was going to be low 20s. So Montevideo says in the draft, I think we're currently sitting at 10. Long way to go, though, brother. Use Hayden to your benefit this year. That's my thing. There's no panic button to trade Hayden Hurst. Again, Hayden Hurst needs to show out for any and all NFL teams this year. Carlos said Hurst just not getting featured, but he's getting some passes in between. Listen, the matchup with Pitts last week was perfect, but just like in the Jets game, Hurst had some good catches in the Hurst game. Now they probably had to get away from him after he fumbled the ball. You can't put the ball on the ground. Once you do that, the coaching staff loses confidence in you. So I understand why they might have pulled him away, but I don't think they've given up on Hurst, not yet. And then last week, think about it. Gage was back. Ridley was back. In the Jets game, you really didn't have your starting receivers. You had Zacchaeus and Sharp out there. I was about to say Shannon Sharp. Tajay Sharp out there. So Hurst and Pitts ate a little bit more during the Jets game. So you can't extrapolate that now that the two starting wide receivers are back and saying we can't feature him. You only have so many balls to go around. And from what you just saw from Pitts is going to be everywhere. So you got to let Pitts eat. I know the Ridley thing has been kind of scratching your head, but you got to let Ridley eat. So, it is what it is. David says Deshaun Jackson wants to be traded. I'm sorry. I'm choked. Hold on one second. I don't know. Deshaun is one of those cats that there's a reason why he bounces back and forth. I'm not sure if I want that show. Shai says we give up a second for him. No, we can't we give up a second for him. Well, at that time, he was a good tight end with Baltimore. And remember, that second round pick was a gimme pick. The pick that we got from New England, that was a steal second round. You got a second rounder for somebody in Sanu who has already been to two other teams. So that second round pick that you gave for Hayden Hurst was actually a good pick. You've gotten some production out of Hurst. It's not like you haven't gotten anything from him. So, I don't know. Levon says Pitts is starting to spread his wings and let him still spread. David said, what's going on? David said, if this mess continued, I'd take calls on Ridley and go into the draft looking for number one. Here's the problem right now, David. I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't quite 100% give up on Ridley yet. Let's see how this week plays out. We're going into some important division games. When Ridley leaves, you basically have a lot of receivers engaged, Blake, Sharp, that on most teams in the NFL would be on the bench without Ridley. let's not play Ridley like he's absolute garbage. You would have somebody who you would have a team full of basically what they were doing in Green Bay yesterday, aside of having the veteran in Randall Cobb. Folks, I got to go. I didn't realize. I know I started late. I will see y'all this Sunday. I'll be at the game. I might try to come on tomorrow if I can to finish this conversation. Go Hawks, go Falcons, go Tech, go Dogs, especially go Braves. We need that sweep this weekend. We don't even want to go back to Houston with them. Y'all continue to put comments down there. I promise I'll check them out and answer everything y'all can. Which team do you have the most confidence in going into the weekend? Y'all take care, man. I'll see y'all. Hope maybe I'll try to sneak in tomorrow for finish the preview. Until then, y'all check me out on Uncle Steve's Lounge. Subscribe on YouTube. You'll check me out there too. Until then, we'll see y'all this weekend. Hopefully, we have a lot of dubs in the region this week.